How to perform the Eid prayer at home correctly during the corona pandemic. Due to the closure of mosques as part of preventive measures to mitigate the spread of the coronavirus and the announcement of curfews by many Muslim countries to include the day of Eid, observing the Eid prayer in mosques and open grounds has become impossible. In view that a key goal of a perfect religion is the gathering and uniting of hearts and the spread of happiness and joy amongst Muslims, Allah has therefore legislated congregating in many acts of worship, of which the Eid prayer is one. Hence, many begin to ask how the Eid prayer can be performed at home with a family or individually without running into violations or errors. In this short video, Allah willing, we'll get to know the following: the permissibility of observing the Eid prayers at home, what should you do before the Salah, the time to observe the Salat al-Eid, how to observe the Salah at home, and how to assemble and arrange the rows, and finally errors not to fall into. The permissibility of observing the Eid prayer at home. When it becomes impossible to observe the Eid prayers in the plains for a reason, such as we have with the corona pandemic, the ruling is the same as that for the one who missed the Salat al-Eid in the open grounds or in the masjid, whereby the individual will observe the Salah with his family or individually, congruent to its well-known format, just as will be explained in this video, insha'Allah. What points to this is the practice of Anas ibn Malik radiyallahu anhu. Whenever he missed the Eid prayers, he will gather his wife and children, then his free slave Abdullah ibn Abi Uqba will get up and lead them in 2 rakas of salah. In each rakah, he will proclaim takbir just like the takbir of the people of the city. This hadith is in Sahih al-Bukhari. In summary, therefore, the salah is to be performed within its well-known time range, adopting its well-known format, whether that be done in congregation or individually, without offering a sermon. The time range for the observance of Salat al-Eid. The time to observe Salat al-Eid starts from when the sun has risen above the horizon by a spear's length. This is about 15 minutes after the sun has fully risen above the horizon. It extends from there till the sun begins to descend from the highest point to which it has risen. What do you do before the Salah? Have your bath and adorn your children with the best of clothes and perfumes. Secondly, break your fast by eating dates before sitting at your prayer place. The Prophet ﷺ will not leave for the Eid al-Fitr prayers until he had eaten dates. Then sit with your family at your prayer places at home. Chant the well-known format of the takbir. Do this before the prayer time arrives. Once the prayer time arrives, stop chanting the takbirs and observe their Eid Salah. How the Eid prayer is performed. When the prayer time arrives, form congregational rows with your family without making iqamah. Then the imam should place a barrier in front of him, whether that be a wall or any other thing. Members of the family should form congregational rows behind the imam based on their composition, as is shown and explained in this screen. Salat al-Eid is a 2 rakah salah. The Imam starts it off with the first takbir, takbirat al-ihram. He follows it up with our opening prayer. An example is Subhanaka Allahumma bihamdik wa tabarak ismuka wa ta'ala jadduka wa la ilaha ghayruk. The opening prayer is supererogatory. Thereafter, he will make another takbir 6 times. He will follow that by reciting Surah Al-Fatiha and then Surah Al-A'la. After this, he will complete the first rakah just as he will complete the rakah of any other salah. From his last sitting position in the first rakah, he will get up while saying Allahu Akbar. Upon standing straight, he will repeat the takbir 5 more times. In both rakahs, he will raise his hands each time he says the takbir. He should do this without haste. Rather, between one takbir and the next, he should proclaim the greatness of Allah. He should glorify Him and give hamd to Him. Thereafter, he should recite Surah Al-Fatiha and Surah Al-Ghashiyah. Alternatively, he can recite Surah Al-Qaf in the first rak'ah and Surah Al-Qamar in the second rak'ah. Thereafter, he completes the salah as he would for any other salah and says the taslim. This should be done without a post-salah sermon, for no sermon is prescribed when the Salat al-Eid is observed at home. Violations to avoid. The joy of Eid cannot be completed except through obedience to Allah and implementation of what He has commanded.
ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما.
Take care not to fall in any of the following violations so that the reward and joy of the Eid is not lost or diminished. Avoid keeping vigil the night before the Eid in a manner that causes you to sleep past the time of Fajr and or past the time of the Eid prayers. Do not forget the Prophet ﷺ's sunnah of dressing well, applying perfume, eating tamar, and saying the takbir. Don't allow the lockdown you're in prevent you from congratulating loved ones and family members. The presence of social media leaves you no excuse to not strengthen the ties of kinship. This English translation was made possible through the permission granted by HD4U, the producers of the original video work in Arabic. Jazakumullah khairan.